Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Roll for Bluff. I am your host, Sam. I play Calamine, the tiefling roguelike. To my right, we have Brandon, our wonderful dungeon master. He plays everybody else in the universe. And to my left, we have Chris, who plays the wonderful shifter Solomon.
Ooh.
They'll be joining me tonight as my co-hosts, as well as my mystical puppets. In tonight's episode, Splintered Stormbreakers.
Oh, God. Tonight's episode was a downer overall.
Yeah.
Things happened. I mean, the plot technically happened. Plot was progressed. There was a lot of more character.
Stuff went
horribly wrong and horribly right at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a lot more plot character stuff this time rather than story plot. But plot did happen. We started with you all... having split the party.
right. We had Solomon and
Sorn on their own going to see Sprout.
That's true.
And Cal, Morena, and Liren were getting drunk in bar and had been charmed
By a half-elf that they met whose name was Mary. And that could have gone a lot worse for you guys.
Yeah.
Depending on what you guys did. But you told the truth. You didn't try and hide it even though you were charmed. And you were very open with what you were trying to say.
I mean, I was drunk and charmed.
Can you just do the voice for me real quick?
For Mary? Why, it's just Mary. It's a more slow, southern, high-pitched girl. She's just a friendly barkeeper.
Friendly
I'm a little
barkeeper.
fan.
I do it, declare
Oh, bless my soul.
Bless my stars and garters. Is that not? She deduced that you were Stormbreakers.
Yes.
So, because of you revealing that, she asked everyone to leave and dropped her facade. Her facade, for those of you.
Yes.
And what did you find out about her?
She is half dryad,
Yeah.
which are more like nature-ish type of elf, or
Yeah.
not elven, but more fey, like nature
Yeah.
fey. And
From lush forests.
yes. And she also sort of revealed to us that up on the ceiling were a bunch of vines with these pretty little flowers.
That opened and then closed, and she used gusts to clear the air, so you guys were no longer charmed by it.
Yes.
It just makes everyone friendly. Towards everyone. Always.
Yeah.
Which is good for a bar. Because everyone's friendly and buys each other's drinks and rounds, and no one says no to another drink or another game of cards.
It's a good con.
Get out. Nope.
No, you sit back down.
Stay back down. So after she had sort of dropped her facade, the charm went away, and, we were sort of, like, awoken from her charm.
You got, stay woke.
We weren't happy.
No, and she...
But you were, like, very attracted to this...
She was very pretty.
She's very
Yeah.
pretty.
That didn't mean I was happy.
Yeah.
I don't like how much I'm attracted to you right now. I'm angry about it, even.
A little
just
angry
the
about
way.
being charmed. But we did kind of press her for a bit more information.
And she happily caved after she cleared the bar.
Yeah, which was good. And she told them that basically she was looking for the Stormbreakers because an artifact from her homeland had been taken from who she believed to be the postman. And she wasn't sure if they had taken it purposefully or accidentally, but she was hoping that the Stormbreakers could help her find it and return it to their homeland. Now, just backing up a little bit, Cal had used your bracelet to try to get Sorn and Solomon to come to the bar to try to agree with this or to talk it out.
And figure out what's
But
going
being
on.
drunk, Cal was like, there's a pretty lady here who wants to talk about Sorn assets, because the Dryad had asked about Sorn specifically. And Sorn
Wasn't having it.
ignored, more or less.
Left on red.
Yeah, left on red.
Tragic.
Solomon at that point could not answer. He did not
Right.
have a bracelet. So he couldn't respond even if he wanted to.
So, Cal thought about it for a minute, and she had offered, not only to erase the small debt that Cal had built up in the, 15 minutes she'd been there
250
playing games
gold.
with her, but also to basically give them an airship, which Cal thought pretty sweet deal. Free airship. All we gotta do is get this artifact and we get an airship?
It's not like she needs it.
I'm cool
if
with
you
that.
fix her homeland, she doesn't need to leave it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Cal decided, was kind of like looking at Marina and Lyra, and they were like, so Cal was like, okay, we'll do it.
Because
Yay!
that's in their minds. They were like, this could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So we agreed. And then, she had kind of given them a little bit more information, such as the person that she believed to have the artifact, the description matched somebody that the Stormbreakers knew, who was Max.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it was actually Max,
You have no idea
soon to
yet.
be revealed,
Dun, dun, dun.
but we'll find out. And then they left the bar to go back to Hakar's,
Yes.
still drunk.
Upon getting back, you met Rory,
Yes.
the stout halfling who was running the shop while Hakar was gone. And you had told Greg to not let Soren up,
Nope.
because you didn't want to talk to him.
Yep.
And at this point, Soren was like, okay, we need to leave. Like, they haven't responded. Like,
Yep.
But you also, in that, we'll switch back over to you guys.
Yeah.
Soren had broken the news to Solomon, or not, to Solomon
Sprout.
and Sprout. Technically, Solomon didn't know.
Yeah.
That Sprout was kicked out of the postman until he could prove himself to be a stronger, better asset.
Yeah.
Which, I can only imagine how Solomon was like, I don't understand what's going on, but that
Yeah.
sucks, bud.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
It was cool to see. I mean, Sprout could have reacted a lot worse than he did. Although he did something to Ewan that was unexpected.
Yeah, I tried to hurt you, and I mean, he just got angry.
Thought that was a funny, brother moment. Like, you didn't tell me!
Pretty much. So then that was nice.
Yeah.
And so it eventually came down to, because of Soren and Solomon being there and interacting, Sprout agreed to one more week with Ewan, and then he would leave on his own.
Yeah.
Right.
So which you guys were like, well, we're out of here. See you guys. We're going to let you do your thing. And that's when you also learned that Sprout doesn't like one individual named Marjorie.
Marjorie.
But we'll come back
Mystery
to that later.
Marjorie.
Mystery Marjorie.
Dun, dun. So you went back, and upon getting to Hakar's, you met Rory.
Yes.
Solomon was as chill as ever.
Yeah. And, Rory, sort of like caught unawares. He's just like, who are you weird people? And
Why do you keep asking about Hakar and
Yeah.
wanting to stay here? I don't know you. Please
this
stop.
is my place of work. It just,
I just work here, man.
and so Greg, as soon as he saw us, he jumped right into
And
action.
he jumped right in front of the stairs like, nope, we're going up. Nope, nope, nope. To which Solomon did something very interesting and very clever.
Yes, I went invisible because I can do that. And so far, it's probably been my favorite spell to use. And so I went invisible, and then I went over to the steps, and I kind of reached up, and I catapulted up there.
And then you were like, peace.
Yep. And I got right past Greg. He didn't see me.
And then he was like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just a sword.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, I will fight you if I have to. And he was like, I don't see that going well for either of us.
That was quite the standoff.
It was.
Yeah, it was. So, you got upstairs, and Cal, Marina, and Lyran had passed out in their room.
Drunkenly.
And you knocked on the door initially?
I did, yeah.
And Cal was like, because drunk.
And it was kind of like, I don't care what you do, just shh.
They were sleeping. I didn't want you to disturb them.
Yeah.
So then he came out and was like, just let him up.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I don't get paid enough for this.
Yes.
And moved, and Soren went up. And then there was the first headbutt.
Yes. So, it's not unknown that Soren and Cal have their differences,
They
but
have different opinions on how to do things.
But Soren was not happy that Cal had made another agreement without his knowledge or without, discussing it as a party. And Cal was kind of in the mindset of, well, you should have come when I called, but you didn't. Ergo, if you really wanted to be there, you would have been there. So, they started arguing, much to the distress of the rest of the party. which poor Solomon and Morena, who had only been with these people for, less than 24 hours,
Yep.
were like, what is going on?
Why is this happening?
Yeah. And then Liren, who was being played by you, because
Yeah.
you couldn't make it,
Yeah, how was that?
I think she tried to initially smooth things over a little, but that didn't work.
No, it didn't. She was like, "Hey, we just need to stop. You're all being jerks.
Yeah.
just stop. Have a moment. Take a breath. Let's reassess. We're in this together." That didn't go well.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
Not at all.
What words did she specifically use against Cal?
So it was, Cal had gotten so frustrated with Soren that she was going to leave. And then Liren said something to the effect of,
Trying to get her to get so angry to come back
yeah.
because hoping that it would be like, okay, close the door. We're gonna we're hashing this out. She said, "You're being real titavillis."
Which to Cal is like, there's no worse insult, like, than being called her father's name. That's like the pinnacle of like,
Good intentions, wrong wording.
yeah. So, and it had the opposite effect. Cal was like,
Peace.
I am not going to talk to you right now because I would probably try and shoot something at you, and I know that would not go well for either one of us, so I'm going to leave. So Cal left.
Yeah. And Solomon followed.
And Solomon followed, because if you're going to split the party,
Don't go alone.
don't go. It's dangerous to go alone.
Don't go alone.
Unless you're following the rogue.
Don't follow the rogue.
Don't follow the rogue. Follow the warlock, not the rogue.
Okay.
You're both.
I'm both.
What do I do?
This is literally the
just stand
character's
still.
paradox. You only move as far as she does, and you stop.
Right. So Solomon followed Cal. Meanwhile,
Liren tried once again to be like, "Soren, stop it. We need to stop this."
Right.
And Soren was not having it. Liren was like, "All right, I'm done then. I'm going outside."
Right.
And Miranda was like, "I don't want to. I'm out."
So Morena and Liren went downstairs. And Morena was trying to buy some things from Rory.
Trying to buy explosives. And charmed her way a little bit by using some smooth words, but then
Yeah.
it's like, "How much money you have?" "Not a lot." That ended miserably.
Yeah.
So then you left, and where did you go?
So I let you catch up to me because I wasn't trying
Yeah.
to. But we started heading towards the docks because, as we had found out earlier from Mary, that Rhaegorn, who we had kind of been looking for him, was indeed in town, and he was actually working as a guard on the docks. So I was going to try to find him. So we made our way to the docks. We wound up running into a car first.
I was like, "What are you doing out
That
here?"
was surprising.
And Cal was like, super secret spy stuff, Dad.
And he was
I'm not
like,
going to tell you, Dad.
he was like, "All right, don't do dumb things."
Right, which Cal always does. And then I told you, like, hey, hang back a bit. I'm not sure how this guy's going to react because Cal is still wearing her ring from Azazel, so she
Right.
didn't look like Cal. But to keep an eye out. So
Yeah.
if things started going wrong, you were there. But went up, talked to Rhaegorn.
Which he was like, "Who are you?"
And I was like, it's Cal.
"Who?"
Cal.
"No, you're not."
And then Odysseus was like,
"Hey, friend, I know your
and
smell."
I was like, yeah, I know. Hi,
And he was
hi,
like,
kitty.
"Oh, you are Cal.
Yeah.
Why you look like that? That's weird."
And then I was like, gift. And
Oh.
yeah. So Cal kind of first off, like, sort of was like, so she explained to him the situation with the young black dragon, which several episodes ago we'd initially met at the Tower of Worms. And then when we fought Yangu, we also realized that he was there. And then after Adam had died, and then the Kingsguard had taken him back to the capital because he had kind of gone a little crazy under the influence
He'd been warped,
of
you can say.
Yangu's madness.
Yeah, he's been warped by madness.
So part of the plan was to get in contact with Rhaegorn, and then when they went to the capital, to try to help the young black dragon get back home. Because at the moment, all that we know is that Rhaegorn's grandfather, great-great-great-great-great-grandfather,
Many greats.
was getting the blame for the disappearance of the young black dragon, and that made the older black dragon, not happy much.
Yep.
Dragon War stuff.
Dragon War.
So, Cal was like, so do you know anybody in, how we can contact the Tower of Worms? And he was like, well, I've got this cool ring. And Cal was like, can I borrow it? And he was like, no.
No.
Cal was like, okay,
Fair.
is there somebody that we might be able to talk to who might know where it is? Is there somebody in the capital we might be able to know where it is? And he told her about a was green and red dragonborn named Thorin. No,
That's a different guy.
different guy.
Sort
He
of-
made me repeat it, and I honestly can't remember.
Well, that's going to be on you to remember next time.
I'll figure it out by then. I'll watch the episode.
Smart move.
But he acts as the liaison between the king and the dragons. So Cal was like, okay, so there's a chance he already knows, but it couldn't hurt to reach out anyway. And then after that, Rhaegorn mentioned that the guards were not going to be at the docks the following night, which was when we were supposed to be
there.
People.
Dronder Crux and his
Yep.
refugees.
So
Yes.
we were like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
So after talking to Rhaegorn, Cal and Solomon left.
That's true. Yeah. And so Solomon's just kind of talking Cal's ear off during this time.
About shifters and being cleric and
Yeah.
twilight and monks and
Yeah.
everything going on from everything.
But meanwhile, Morena and
Lyran were like, where do they go? Oh my god. Maybe she'll see my dancing lights.
Yeah, so they went outside. Didn't think about trying to track. They just were like, let's shoot flares up in the air. And they tried to cast dancing lights in the air as like a letter K, but there was only 4 lights, so I imagine that it was like 1, 2, and then like 3 and 4. Like
And they were
some
just
weird,
they were
like,
just moving and forming, okay?
calling the X-Men.
Which Cal didn't initially see.
Neither of you did.
Solomon didn't initially see, but somebody else saw.
Good friend.
And it started drawing a crowd. And the somebody else that saw was our good friend Woodhull.
The Red Dragonborn
Dragonborn.
champion of the Underground Fighting Ring.
So
Not really underground, just the fighting ring.
he went up to
Them.
Lyran and Morena and was like,
What are you doing?
what are you guys doing? And Morena, the
Being
sly
quick
dog
wit.
she is, pretty much was like, oh, my poor dear friend, she's, very special, and we're working on the alphabet, and K is her favorite letter this week, and
She needs help.
yeah. And whether or not he really bought it, I guess we'll never know. But he seemed like he bought it.
And he left.
And he left. And on the way, Solomon and Cal saw him. And the first thing Cal did was put her hand on Solomon's mouth and look at him, trying to block the view, and was like, don't say my name.
I'm not that. I'm real wise. I'm real good at this. I can handle this. It doesn't take intelligence to understand.
And then was
We
like,
did one of these numbers?
let's walk inconspicuously right by him.
Oh gosh.
Please don't notice.
The
But she didn't.
anxiety.
Yes. And then we went up to Morena and Lyran, and Cal was very angrily like, get inside.
What are you doing?
Stop this immediately.
To which she was like, okay, sorry. Man was like, sorry. She went inside.
We went inside.
More hilarity with, the workers of Hakar.
Yes. Hilarity ensued. And then we all went back upstairs, and the arguments continued.
Back to square one.
As Lyran then started drinking.
And she was getting real tired of it.
Yeah.
And,
Laren had stolen some of Cal's whiskey earlier.
Yes, when Cal had tried to take a drink of whiskey before she left, Lyran had shaped water out the whiskey.
Clever, man.
It works.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cheater? Who just tells you can't do that?
I wish I could. I would every whiskey bottle.
It's all mine.
I might have her do that more often.
Gosh.
Anyway, so Lyran was drunk, and between the Soren and Cal arguing and the Lyran and Soren arguing and the Lyran and Cal arguing, at one point Lyran was like, well, you're not my sister anyway, right? And Cal was like, well, not biologically. Which
and
Lyran just shut down.
Yeah.
Like, just broke.
And you casted darkness.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, desperate times.
Call for dark measures.
Which was interesting because you're the only one who could see through that.
Miranda cast light
Miranda cast light.
and walked over
And
to
Lyran
Lyran.
casted dancing
Dancing
lights
lights.
for a moment until you destroyed her.
And then she was like,
Yeah,
okay.
and she dropped it.
And then Miranda was like, no.
So we're all like sitting there in this dim light, I guess at this point, if it's darkness and light.
Yes,
Yeah.
and your mace was going off then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was sort of like this point where I think you finally dropped darkness.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of like we had reached a stalemate.
Yeah.
Cal had stopped talking, Soren had stopped talking, and Lyran was dead to the world.
Yeah, she's sitting on the ground just like tearing up.
Just sitting there, not doing anything.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we ended things.
So
What a horrible ending.
And I gotta say, this was one of those episodes where it was, I think, just really kind of intense as players in
Yes.
a different way, as
Did you
opposed to
have
like
that?
combat and story drama. This was like character drama.
Yeah, but you learned some
Yeah.
things. You learned about the artifact, what it is. You learned about what's going on in the docks. You learned more about...
Cal learned a lot.
Cal learned
Cal
a
learned
lot.
a lot.
You also made a deal that Cal was now immediately being like, well, okay, maybe we won't do.
Well.
Which, that was one of the things Lyran tried to say, like, well, we're gone. We didn't make a binding deal. If we don't do it, we don't do it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. But I want that airship.
Me too.
I want that airship real bad. You want to know why? Beach day.
It's coming.
I'm getting that beach day. You're going to find out about beach day.
Who knows if it's going to happen in 2K19? It may happen in 2020.
It better happen in 2K19. Beach day, 2K19. But we will have to pick up what happens in another episode. So I'm looking forward to finding that out.
Tomorrow.
And we will see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.
Bye-bye.